Are you ready? Are you ready to recommit your energy to all that is good, all that makes you feel good? Think about stretching. Think about being flexible. Think about being mobile. Think about being able to move and do the things that you enjoy. When you feel good, life's good, and that's for sure. This is a practice where you're going to feel good. Hi, I'm Jan. This is 316 Yoga. This is your yoga from home. This practice today is called Yoga Plus. And the plus is adding in some barre, adding in some Pilates, adding in some sculpt with some weights. You got it. You got it going on because you can do it. That's what I always want to stress is you can do this yoga because you do it your way. You modify. As the bottom of the screen says, do what is right for your body. Your body is different from mine. Somebody else's body is different from somebody else's. Everybody's body is different. Honor those differences. Do what you can. Do what feels good in the practice. Discard the rest. Don't overthink it. Do what feels right for the one and only you. And as you do that today, here's the word to think about. The word is radiate. Radiate, there you go. It means to project or emit a glow, a cheerful aura of health and well-being and happiness. And don't we all want that? Yes, of course we do. Don't think otherwise. And you can have it. You can have it. One of the best ways is to start moving. Movement feels really good for your brain. All right, so think about who you can shine your light on today. Who are you going to be a blessing to? Who are you going to give a positive jolt in life to? Let your yoga make it happen. All right. So as I said, we practice every day. Every practice is different. Do what you can here. Come back another day. Live, start to finish. 1 hour, just like being in a real class. Make it work. Here are the props you're going to need for today. This ball I have, it's called a bender ball, or this is a slow-mo ball. They are squishy. You don't inflate them all the way. You want a squishy surface. You want to get one of those. If you don't have it today, don't sweat it. We can make the practice work without it. 2 yoga blocks. We use those often. If you don't have those, get them this weekend. Why not, right? Because commit. You're going to commit to making yourself feel better. Some water, an eye shade, a little hand towel, and a couple of hand weights. Maybe you've got more than a couple of hand weights. Maybe you got some heavier ones, some lighter ones. Whatever works for you. And they're not very expensive. And they're just a good thing to have around because you practice and do working on your strength. All right, come on up to standing. We're going to lock in a stress number. That's the first thing we do. We lock in a stress number on a scale of 1 to 5, 1 to 10. How are you feeling in your one and only body? Take a deep breath in. And a deep breath out. Maybe you got a chair nearby. Maybe you sit for part of the practice and do the poses in the chair. Maybe you use the chair for balance. All right, here's the challenge for today. Let's start with our arms down by our sides, palms slightly rotated forward, shoulders back and down. You've got that stress number locked in on a scale of 1 to 5, 1 to 10. What are you feeling? Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Soften in the shoulders. In through the nose for the inhales, out through the mouth for the exhales. Here's the challenge for today. The challenge is to smile when the poses get challenging. All right, sounds silly, I know, but put a smile on your face. It really does help. Let's go from this mountain pose to an extended mountain pose. That's when the arms lift up. As you lift the arms up, inhale. As you float the arms down, exhale. Do it a little faster. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Put that smile on your face. Why not? Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Think of taking in goodness. Think of breathing in all that serves you well, the happiness. Think about breathing out all that doesn't serve you. As you exhale, just let that stuff go. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Hands to prayer center now. Close your eyes if that feels right for you. Create a positive statement in your mind. Something positive about you. I am fill in the blank. I am strong. I am capable. I am able. I am good. Take a deep breath in. And a deep breath out. Let it go. Let's extend our arms high up to the sky again. Big inhale. And on this exhale, let your arms float down to your hips. Press your thumbs into your low back. Let that feel good. And then send your gaze up toward the sky. So send your belly forward. A little bit of a back bend here. Exhale, hinge forward, and let your hands reach toward the earth. They don't have to go very far. Maybe they don't go very far. Maybe your back's a little tight. Wiggle your knees. Remember, it's only yoga. No sweat. No worry. Well, we're going to sweat, but don't worry about things. Let it go. Breathe in.
Breathe out, little bend in your knees might feel really good. Maybe your fingers reach toward the earth. Inhale. Decompress your low back. Inhale, arms sweep up, come back to your extended mountain pose. In your extended mountain pose, lengthen up. Interlace your fingers, palm tree pose. Send your palms up toward the sky and sway gently from side to side. As you do this, you're waking up your side body. This is such a good feeling. Stretch. Breathe. All right, palm trees. Think palm trees. Think wonderful, beautiful, tropical island weather. Wherever you are. Breathe. In through the nose, out through the mouth. All right, sideways flexion of the spine. Let's come back to the midline of the body. Let your arms float on down, and we call this picking apples. Think of those apple orchards. All right, go ahead and cross body with one arm. Come on down, cross body with the other. Let the ball of the foot be on the ground in the side that you're stretching, so the heel lifts. Pick up the pace a little bit. Maybe pick up the leg a little bit and bend it too. So look up to the corner of the room, reach like that apple's just a little bit out of touch, and then bend your knees and breathe. And when you're ready, we'll finish up here. Enough apples, right? Come back to your hands on your hips. Bring your feet in so they are underneath your hips. Lift on up onto your toes, balls of your feet, and breathe. So confidence pose. Think of hands on the hips, elbows back. You're lifting and lowering, finding your balance here. Usually we start out in this confidence pose. Today we challenged ourselves with that picking apples pose. And maybe you find now that coming up onto the balls of the feet might be a little easier. Chair here is always good. Breathe. Focus forward. Look up to where the ceiling and the wall meet. And just balance on your feet here. So come high onto the toes and maybe hang out there for a moment or two. And then come on down to your heels. Maybe when you come down to your heels a couple times, you give your toes a wiggle. And then go back to finding your firm foundation in your feet. Let's bend our knees just a little bit. Let them be a little bouncy. Tee out your arms. Start to draw little arm circles to the sides of the room. We'll do this with our legs later too. All right, as you're drawing little circles, maybe to the back of the room or to the front, because we're going to switch directions too. It doesn't matter. Start the way you like. Start to bend the knees. Bend the knees when the arms sweep down, and then straighten the knees when the arms sweep up. Breathe. Maybe big arm circles, maybe not so big arm circles. It's up to you. I'm going to switch direction in the arms now. Still bending in those knees. Maybe take it a wee bit lower and bring it on up. Movement in the knees, so important. All right, let's come on back up to standing. Let your arms hang down by your sides. Shoulders are over your hips. Deep breath in. Big sighing breath out. Big coat swing. Think of being a child in a coat where the arms are hanging way down, really too big, and you're just having fun. You're starting to twist and turn and look over one shoulder, then the other. Nice controlled twist with the arms being heavy. You want all the thought in the body to be in the hips. Arms are just loose, tapping your backside, tapping your hip. The twist in the waist is what we want to feel. Twist, nice and controlled, you got it. Maybe pick up the pace a little bit. And when you're ready, maybe you want to stick with this longer and stay here and do it. Totally good. Next pose we're going to go into is going to be that forward fold, followed by a ragdoll, followed by our child's pose. All right, let's slow it on down. Come back to standing. Maybe place your hands at prayer center. Come back to your little mantra. Take a deep breath in. And fold forward. Fold forward here. Let your hands float down to the earth. Little bend in your knees. Feels good. Feet, have them about hip width distance apart. That's about 2 fist widths you can measure. Hands to opposite elbow creases. Gaze back to your knees. Little bend in the knees. Breathe. Crown of your head is toward the earth. Start to sway your elbows, bringing one back toward one knee, then the other one back toward the other knee. Feel the decompression in the low back. Let your head hang heavy here. Sway one side to the other. Great pose to do if you sit at your desk or a chair or your sofa for long periods of time, and we all do Get up periodically and do your ragdoll. Let's finish up with your ragdoll. Come back to the midline of your body. Maybe eyes are opened or closed. Challenge your balance a little bit. Lift your toes up and give them a wiggle. Place your hands down on your mat. Bend your knees and come on down to a child's pose. Child's pose is where you just find peace here for a moment. Bring your block to the top of your mat. Send your knees together, big toes touching. Hips are back toward your heels and your head is down on your block. Arms down by your sides, shoulders away from your ears. Nice tight little ball here in your child's pose. Take a breath in and a breath out. Let it go. Think of your spine as getting long. Think of your tailbone going back to your heels. Nice stretch in your ankles and in your knees. Add in a stretch in your inner thighs, your adductor muscles, and your shoulders by moving this into a wide-legged child's pose. That is knees spread, big toes are still touching, hips back to the heels, arms reaching long to the top of your mat. You don't need to use a block under your head if you don't want to. You can bring your head down to the mat. You could use that block at the top of your mat and put your hands on it to deepen the stretch in the shoulders. So many fun ways to take it. Put a smile on your face and breathe. So in this pose, let the outside world go. All you're doing is working on your body and your mind and your soul for this next period of time, however long you stay. Close your lips if you like and breathe in and out of your nose. As you breathe in and out of your nose, you're building heat in your body and you're focusing inward. Back to that tropical island, those palm trees, the palm tree pose we did. Sometimes think of your breath as like the waves of the ocean on a beach. As the lips are closed, you can hear the waves and just let it calm your soul. Breathe in. Breathe out. Stay here longer in your child's pose if you like. It's all up to you because it's your yoga. You practice it your way. I'm going to come out of this pose and come to a neutral tabletop. In a neutral tabletop, your shoulders are over your wrists. Your knees are under your hips. We're going to do cat-cow. Push all four limbs into the earth. Lengthen through your spine. Exhale the air out of your lungs while tucking your chin to your chest and your tailbone under. Inhale, cow pose, crown of your head and tailbone lift. Continue with your cat and cow, two complementary poses that move your spine in the shape of a letter C and then a backwards letter C, if you will. Tailbone, really tuck it under. As you tuck it under in cat, your belly button is going back towards your spine. You're pushing your feet and hands into the mat. Inhale, cow, tailbone and crown of the head lift. Let this movement feel really good. And let's move the spine another way with cat pulling its tail. To do that, from your neutral tabletop position, extend your right leg long. Draw your toes towards your shins and maybe that feels good and you'll stay right there. Dial your right hip down so your hips are equidistant to your mat. Maybe you bend your right knee and just move it a little bit, kicking yourself in the bottom. To pull your tail, reach your left hand around and grab your right foot across the midline of your body. Push hard into the earth, it helps with the balance. Kick your right foot into your left hand and breathe. You're looking down at your right thumb. Move your gaze to the left side of your mat, the left side of your room, or over your left shoulder. Kick and hold, and then release. Right hand down. And your left hand down, right knee down. Same thing on the other side. Extend your left leg, draw the toes towards your shins. Maybe a little bit of a kick in the bottom. Maybe that's where you stay. Any of these layers is fine to stay in if that's where you want to be. I'm going to reach my right hand around and capture my left foot. So I'm doing that cross body motion. Gaze over your right shoulder eventually if that feels good. Breathe. You got it. Kick. Kick hard and don't forget to push the earth away too. That's a big part of it. It helps you balance. Finish. Hand comes down, knee comes down, chin to your chest, cat pose, tailbone under, cow pose, opposite direction. There you go. Let's do a bird dog pose. Let's add a layer of interest here by bringing that ball in. All right, here's the deal. No ball, don't sweat it. The pose is still very, very challenging. The ball creates an unstable surface. I'm gonna place my right knee on top of the ball and draw my right toes toward my shin. I'm gonna lift my left leg up and reach the foot long to the back of the room. I'm gonna draw my toes toward my shin as I push into both hands. The left leg is lifted. I'm gonna lift my right arm also and stretch it out toward the front of the room. Balance here, hold it here. If you want, play with it a little bit, bringing the right elbow to the left knee underneath your belly button. Stretch and tuck and breathe. Don't forget to breathe. A few of those, if you like. One big last stretch. Hand comes down, knee comes down, switch it. Ball under the opposite knee. All right, neutral tabletop perhaps. I'm on the ball, so I'm gonna tuck my left toes under. I'm gonna lift up and extend my right leg, drawing my right toes toward my right shin. Again, hips are equal distant to the mat. Gonna add in my left arm and reach and stretch and stay right here. If you want, elbow to knee a couple of times. You do what feels best. Finish with a deep, strong stretch in your bird dog. Hand comes down, knee comes down, remove the ball. How did you like that? All right, so there was your bird dog pose. Let's go into a fire hydrant pose. So take your ball, place it behind your right knee. Again, neutral tabletop. Fire hydrant, you're gonna lift the leg to the right side of your room. Like a dog on a fire hydrant. All right, lift and lower. Knee comes down, it doesn't touch the ground, it goes back up. Little dog is fine, big dogs are fine. Lift the leg up, keep it up, and pulse it up, up. Maybe the knee comes, or the ankle comes higher than the knee, little pulses, and finish. Knee hovers next to the left knee, place that foot down, and then let's switch it to the other side. Ball behind the left knee. No ball, totally fine. You can still do a great fire hydrant pose without the ball. All right, so I'm gonna lift the knee up, drawing the toes toward the shin, helps hold on to the ball, and then lift the leg to the side of the room. Breathe, breathe. You got it. Smile on your face. I'm gonna lift the ankle higher than the knee and pulse, pulse, pulse the leg up to the sky. Breathe in your fire hydrant pose. All right, you know what comes next? After fire hydrant, we usually do a donkey kick. So let's finish up here. Hover the knee next to the right knee. Bring it on down. Let's go back to the first side, the right side. Place the ball behind the knee. When you're ready, lift the knee up, up, up. Draw the toes toward the shin. The knee is lifted. The knee comes to about hip height. Now chances are it's lower than you think. Lift it higher. Right hip and left hip are equal distant to the mat. Start to kick the ball in towards your bottom. So think of the strength you're creating in your low back. Remember when we did that controlled twist in that big coat swing? The twisting, 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 and ragdoll, how you felt the lengthening, lengthening, lengthening of your low back muscles. Here you go, we're strengthening them again. Nice and with control. When you're ready, squeeze that ball in, hugging the heel towards your bottom, and then pulse your leg up to the sky. Press into your hands. Fingers should be spread wide. And you know, if it doesn't feel good on your wrists, ball your hands into fists. Or you can put a towel under your hands. That always feels good too. Nice little pulses here. Jack that knee up. And when you're ready, we'll finish. Right knee hovers next to left for just a moment, then plant it on down. All right, other side. Let's go. Take the ball behind the left knee. Neutral tabletop. Lift that knee up, up, up to hip height. Draw the toes toward the shin. Press into your ground. And then little teeny kicks toward the bottom, toward your bottom. So you're looking between your thumbs, your spine is long. Breathe. How are you doing with this? Put that smile on your face. You know, we all know people who you want to be around, who radiate goodness and happiness and joy. And then there's those others who you kind of don't want to be around. What's the saying? There are those that when they come into a room bring light, and those that their happiness comes when they leave. Something like that. Be one of those ones that radiates and glows. Draw your heel closer to your bottom. Check out your hips. And then pulse the foot just up, up, up to the sky. Breathe. You got it. Stay focused. Stay strong. We're not going to be here for long. You got it. Think of the goodness you're doing for your back. All right, after this, let me tell you where we're going. We're going to toes pose and ankle pose. That's always good. No, but first we're going to take that wide-legged child's pose to even everything out, so that'll feel good. All right, let's finish up here. Hover the left knee next to the right. Bring both knees down. Remove the ball. Place it at the top of your mat and spread your knees wide. With your knees spread wide, we'll take like that wide-legged child's pose. Hips go back slowly and gently towards your bottom. Kind of nice stretch to even everything out. Ball under your hands, stretch it out. Reach. Sink your bottom back towards your heels. Breathe in, breathe out. Maybe massage that ball into the earth a little bit from left to right. And then finish. Roll the ball back toward you, place it aside, and grab your blocks. Toes pose, ankle pose. Come to standing on your knees. Tuck your toes towards your shins. The blocks bring the ground up to you. You can have your hands on those if that feels good. I'm going to bring my shoulders more over my hips to intensify this stretch. Breathe in, breathe out, let it go. Hands back to prayer center. Find your little mantra. Call it what you want, but it's a positive affirmation in your mind. I am worthy. I am capable. I can do this. I am strong. I am a new creation. Whatever it is, say it to yourself. Nobody hears you, so why not? Put a smile on your face and enjoy your toes pose. If it's painful, come out of it by putting your hands back on those blocks, or just hang with it. Stretch out the feet. When you're ready, let's go into an ankle pose. Hands back on the blocks. Tops of your feet are now on your mat. Use the blocks to push into, like bringing the ground up to you, and balance on the tops of your feet. You can use your blocks or no blocks at all. You decide. I'm going to bring my hands to prayer center. I need my mantra back in my head. And I'm going to try to close my eyes to keep my balance here. Ooh, that's a challenge. When the eyes are closed, it's a real challenge. All right, so balancing on the tops of the feet. You know, if you want to put your hands down as a little kickstand, that's fine too. Use what you got, right? All right, I'm going to go back to toes pose real quick and just hold it here for a little bit. And I'm going to take it nice and intense. Bring my shoulders over my hips. I know I'm not going to stay long, so I'm going to really stretch it out to what feels good. Then I'm going to come back to my ankle pose one more time. I'm going to try to get here with my eyes closed. Challenge yourself. Ooh, use your hands if you need to. It's all good. No yoga police. You do it your way. Stretching out the ankles, building that strong foundation in the feet. Breathe. And when you're ready, let's come on out of our toes pose. Let's come to a neutral tabletop. Lift your legs up, or lift your feet up. Squeeze and scrunch your toes. Circle the ankles here and there. Tap the tops of your feet out on your mat. Place your feet, tops of your feet on your mat. Forearm stretch, fingers back towards your shins and or towards your knees, and then your forearms are shining forward. Wiggle your hips from side to side. Feel this stretch in your forearms. Let it feel good. Breathe. Breathe in, breathe out. Let's finish with that forearm stretch. Bring your hands around, wiggle them. Circle the ankles, circle the wrists, the ankles of the hands. How's that? Come on down to your back. Let's take a pentacle pose, a resetting pose. Legs spread wide, heels maybe off the edges of your mat. Arms high overhead, stretch into a big capital letter X. Take a big breath in. Nice resetting pose. We all need to recharge. Big breath out. You can stay here in your pentacle pose. Nobody's judging you. I'm going to take it to a supine twist. Bring your arms down by your sides and your legs back to the midline. Bend your right knee, hug your right knee in. Left calf is down on your mat. Circle your right ankle while drawing your left toes towards your shins, keeping your calf plugged in. Left hand guides the right knee across the midline of your body. tee out your right arm, keeping your right shoulder down, and look to the right as you enjoy your supine twist. We're going to do a plank next. And yes, you can do it. I've got a real challenge for you, Liz and Betty and Tammy. All right, come on down, hip down, hug your knee in, circle your ankle this way and that. Send the right leg long on your mat. Heel is down of the right leg, so the calf is plugged in. Left leg draws up, good and strong, and your interlaced fingers hug under it. Squeeze it, pull it in, you got it. Right hand takes the left knee across the midline of your body. Hand works the knee down, left shoulder tees out, and your gaze goes to the left. Turn your neck. Breathe in, breathe out. You got it. Let's finish. Hip comes down. Hug the left knee in, maybe circle the ankle again and again. Send the legs long. We're going to do a 1-minute plank. If you want, you can take your hands and act as if the ceiling were the ground, and you just hold your arms up there like this. As you're doing that, really tighten in your core. To do that, send your belly button back towards your spine and just be strong. There's one variation of your plank pose. Another variation if you want to take it. Remember that neutral tabletop? Walk your hands a little more forward, walk your knees a little more back. Hinge the weight forward into the arms. A little bit of a bend in the elbows feels good, and just hold it here as you build strength in your body, holding tightly with everything you've got, engaging your core. Perhaps you tuck your toes, send your hips up, and press into your arms. That's a high plank. That's where I'm going to go in just a moment. Maybe you stay on your knees, come down to your forearms, elbows under your shoulders, pressing your forearms into the mat, walking your knees back a little bit, and feeling like a sphinx pose almost. And just rest here. You could tuck your toes under, lift your hips up, and come into a dolphin plank. You decide how you want to do it. We're going to set a 1-minute timer. You don't have to stay for a minute. Timer is only there for you to decide what you want to do. I'm going to come into a high plank, and I'm going to do a 3-limbed high plank. Think about it. You have 4 limbs on the ground. I'm going to just do it on 3, and you're going to alternate. That'll make it a little more doable. Send your body into the plank variation you like. Dwayne, let's go with the timer. Here we go. All right, we're counting down. Feet hip width distance apart. Hands shoulder width distance apart. Your gaze is down between your thumbs. Your body is lengthening. Think of your spine as lengthening. Energy shooting out your heels. I'm going to lift one back leg and hold it here for a few seconds. We are 15 seconds in here. You've got this. I'm going to hold it for a while, then I'm going to say, it's going down. I'm lifting the other one. Breathe here. Keep your hips equal distant to the mat. Hold on. You got it. We're halfway there. I'm going to plant those feet down. Take a break if you want. Drop to your knees or send your hips up to a downward facing dog. Just takes a breath or two to get back in the game. I'm going to lift my right arm and stretch it forward and hold it. Breathe. I'm going to plant my right arm, send my left arm forward, stretch it, and breathe, keeping the shoulder over the wrist. Hand comes down, back to a plank for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and done. Come on down. Grab a drink of water if you like. There you go. You did your variation of plank. Whatever you did is awesome. Believe that. It's true. All right, high 2. Marietta, Lori, Scott, Rena, Liz, Betty, Kelly, Barbara, Tina, and Yvette. I'm glad you guys are here. All right, when you're ready, let's come down to do some core stuff. We'll start with dead bug. All right, so in your dead bug pose, come on down, all the way down on your shoulders or on your back. Bend your knees. Lift your legs on up. Send them high up to the sky. Same thing with your arms. Send them high up to the sky. So your body looks like the letter U. We're going to take opposite limbs and have them touch down. Right leg works its way to the earth while the left arm works its way to the earth overhead. Bring it on down, legs on up. Other side, right arm down, left leg up. Continue. Keep at it. You got it. Don't quit. Opposite limbs. Keep them going. It's a brain game, isn't it? It's a brain challenge. Opposite limbs lifting and lowering. Once those limbs get back up, the other ones start going down like a fine oiled machine. You are. Yes, you are. Our bodies really are amazing, aren't they? Oh, I'm already messed up. Okay, keep at it. You got it. Let's quit. All right, hug your knees in. Hug them in, rock a little bit from side to side. Let's do a Pilates teaser pose. All right, think boat pose, very similar. Legs are long, arms overhead. When you're ready, let's lift on up in the arms, lift on up in the legs. Hold it here and bring it on down. Maybe you do more like a sit-up and come on up, legs lifted, arms reaching. Tuck your chin to your chest and lower the legs down. Arms go overhead, they can stay there. Legs can lift by themselves, arms can lift by themselves. You can put it all together or come on up using your strong core. Legs can be long or they can be a little bent. Tuck your chin, roll on back down. One more time. Come on up, stretch, lengthen, you got it. Come all the way down. Stretch it out in your stick pose. Fingers reach to the top of the room, toes point to the bottom. Another Pilates pose, arms float down by your sides. Joseph Pilates 100s. Arms are down, palms are face down, shoulders away from your ears. Take it in layers. You can pat your hands as if they're patting the earth. You can lift one leg, you can lift two legs, you can lift both legs, or lift your shoulders too. Pat the ground. The idea is 100 times, but you do it however many times is right for you. Breathe, adjust your feet. Breathe, adjust your feet. Legs a little higher, a little lower, whatever feels good to keep your belly, your core engaged, good and strong. You got it. Don't quit. Don't give up. Take breaks when you need to, but get back in the game. It's all about starting over and over and over again, isn't it? Just don't quit. Rests are okay. Rests are different than quitting. Don't quit. You got it. All right. The idea is to do about 100 or whatever is right for you. And then we'll finish. Legs come down, arms go overhead, stretch it out, stick pose. Breathe in. Breathe out. All right, let's come on up. Use your hands or not. Come on up and let's come to standing. Get there via a downward facing dog. Hands on your mat, hips go high. Let's pedal it out. Feet are hip width distance apart, hands are shoulder width distance apart. Your neck, shake it, loosen it up. Still your feet and think of sending your tailbone higher to the sky. Push into your strong arms. You got it. You did a plank. You're strong. And pedal your feet. Pedal your heels. One toward the earth, then the other. Walk your feet up to meet your hands or your hands back to meet your feet. Let's do some balancing. Sweep your arms up, all the way up to your extended mountain pose. Take a big breath in and a big breath out. Hands back to prayer center. Your mantra. What is it? I am excellent. There you go. Zip up your legs. Hands to prayer center. Shoulders are soft. Let's do that. You will look taller posture that brings our shoulders back. Lift your arms up to the letter Y shape. Remember, push the backs of your hands to the back of the room. W shape in the arms. Elbows hugged in for 2 L's, forward and back. Tee out your arms and pulse them to the back of the room for taller. Let's do it again. You will look a whole lot taller. T. Do it again. You push the backs of your hands so far back. Will. 2 L's. T for taller. You got it. Float your arms down by your sides. Remember that mountain pose we started in? Not extended mountain, mountain. Arms down by your sides. Spiral your hands so they're a little more to the front of the room so your pinkies are touching your hips. Shoulders are back and down. Breathe. Chest is lifted. You are strong. You have good posture. No text neck in this crowd. Take a deep breath in. And a deep breath out. Half crescent moon. Lift your arms up to the sky. Palms touch. Lengthen up here. Breathe here. Lengthen. And then soften. Keep your feet planted, nice and solid. Let your arms drift to the left side of your room. Bring your right shoulder back and your chin away from your chest. Big stretch here. Take your left hand, grab your right wrist, and give it a gentle tug if that feels good. Firmly rooted into the earth. Hands back to prayer center, lengthen up. Take it to the other side. When you're ready, reach, reach, reach to the right side. Take your right hand and capture your left wrist and give it a tug. Shoulder back, chin away from the chest, half crescent moon. Come on back up to the midline of your body. Lengthen up. Exhale, hands float down, prayer pose. Take a big breath in and out. Put a smile on your face. Tree pose. All right, when you're ready, bend one leg, open it up to the side of the room. Place the sole of the foot anywhere you want on the standing leg, but just not on the knee. Place it high, place it low, place it in a kickstand position. Have your chair nearby if you want. Place it strongly into the leg while pushing the leg strongly back into the foot. Hands to prayer center. Lengthen up and grow your branches if you like. Hello, Stan. I was wondering where you were today. I'm glad that you and Buddy are joining us. All right, sway your branches. Let it be. Hands back to prayer center. Right foot meets left on your mat. Take a big step forward with your right foot and hinge forward. Sweep your hands back, clasp them at your low back, and lift your back left toes. Lift them up and take your toppling tree. So those interlaced fingers are working their way up the back wall. Left leg is working its way up too. Embrace those little micro wiggles in that standing foot. You got it. Left foot meets right, hands back to prayer center. Tell yourself something good. Take a breath in and a breath out. All right, let it go. All right. Did we do tree on the other side? I don't know. We're about to do it again, maybe. All right. When you're ready, hands to prayer center, bend the other knee. I don't think we've done this yet. All right. So place your foot to a comfortable position, wherever that is. Remember, just not on the knee. Press the foot into the leg and the leg into the foot. Lengthen up in your tree pose. Gaze up, sway your branches if you want, or hold on to that chair. Find your balance. If you fall out, big deal. Get back in. Hands back to prayer center. Guide the foot to meet the other. Place it on the ground. And let's take a step out with that foot. So I'm going to bring my left foot forward and my right foot back. Maybe this is where you stay. Now, you don't want your feet necessarily in a straight line. That makes it really hard. Maybe, kind of like a railroad track. Create some more space there so you got some wiggle room so you feel good in your balance. I'm going to hinge my weight forward onto the left foot. I'm going to send my right leg up a little bit or a lot. I'm going to sweep my hands around, interlace the fingers, and take this toppling tree pose. Have some give in your standing knee. Lift your arms higher. Send your gaze to your toes, your knee, your belly, whatever works. Right foot meets left, hands back to prayer center. Tell yourself your mantra. Deep breath in. And deep breath out. When you're ready, spread your legs wide. Legs are spread good and wide. Tee out your arms. Hinge forward here. Hinge forward, look down to between your legs. Look back, up between your legs. Take your hands to your calves and hold on to your calves. Bring the crown of your head toward the earth. Decompress in the back. Tee out your arms, rise on up, horse pose, hands to prayer center. Bring your heels in slightly, bend in the knees. Drive the knees to the outside back of your room. Sit low in your horse pose, shoulders over your hips. Come up to the balls of your feet and then alternate with your heel touchdowns. Breathe, breathe, you got it. Alternate. Heel touchdowns. Bring the heels high by coming high onto the balls of the feet. Sink a little lower if that feels good and pulse down. Pulse down, shoulders over your hips. Pulse. Focus forward. You got it. Maybe alternate again with the heel touchdowns. Maybe come up high onto the ball of one foot and pulse here. Pulse, pulse. You're high on one foot, low on the other. Pulse, pulse, pulse. Bring that one foot that's high on the ball, bring it down. Lift the other one up so it's high on the ball of the foot here. And pulse, and pulse, and pulse. Put a smile on your face. Remember, smile when it gets challenging. Hold on here. Plant both feet down, lift up onto the balls of both feet and pulse down. Pulse down, pulse down. You got it. Keep pulsing. Sink it low as you can go and hold it. Hold it, hold it for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come on down. 5-pointed star. Wiggle your hips. You got it. Breathe in. Breathe out. Let it go. Hands to prayer center. Mantra time. Feet back together. Take a deep breath in. Exhale. Find your weights. All right. Let's take these weights. Let's bring them to our shoulders. Lift and lower the weights. Palms are in towards your ears. Lifting and lowering these weights. Maybe one at a time. It's all good. You got it. Lift and lower. Breathe. When you're ready, let's take these weights, send them high up to the sky, and then open up your arms so the arms are teed out. Keep those arms nice and open and lift them back up. Have them touch overhead. Open them up, tee them out, and lift them back up nice and slowly overhead. Don't let momentum, don't get that quick rush and then momentum, bring them up. You're doing it with control. Overhead and tee them out. Now that they're teed out, pulse them up. Just pulse them up. You got it? Little bend in your knees. Relax in the low body. Just be nice and stable here. Strengthen the arms. You got it. Let's bring them up overhead and touch, and then bring them back to that teed out position and pulse. When you're ready, flip the hands so they're face down and pulse them down. Breathe. Chest is lifted good and strong. You got it. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Let the arms float down by your hip creases. Let the arms float up and then pulse them down, down, down. Breathe. You got it. You're strong. Don't give up. Don't quit. Let them float down. There's your little rest for a moment. Breathe. Lift them back up. You got it. You're back in the game. Pulse them down. Pulse them down. Pulse them down. Nice work. When you're ready, arms float down by your sides. That feels good. Put a bend in your knees. Put a bend in your knees. We'll do drinking bird with these weights. Now you could squeeze the ball between your thighs if you like. Kind of helps you feel more stable. Or don't squeeze the ball. Totally fine. I'm going to sit a little low here. I can keep my feet down flat on my mat, or I can pop on up to the balls of my feet. I'm going to bring my shoulders over my hips. I'm going to bend my elbows, bringing the weights toward my armpits. I'm going to sink a little bit lower, and then I'm going to push through straight arms, sending those weights to the back wall. Bend the elbow, and then send it straight. Bend the elbow, and send it straight. Squeeze that ball, sink a little lower if you want. Extend the arms to the back of the room, and pulse the weights in towards your low spine. Breathe. You got it. You got it. Nice work. Stay strong. Maybe sink a little lower. Breathe. And then finish. Feet come down. You can remove the ball. It's up to you, or you can keep it there if you like. I'm going to lift my arms up to my shoulders. I'm going to lift my arms overhead. You could ditch one weight if you want. I'm going to interlace my fingers, biceps up near my ears, and then I'm going to bend my elbows, bringing the weights down toward my back. So there you go. Work the triceps, the back of the arms. Breathe. Remember to breathe. It's all good. How are you doing? Keep it up. Don't quit. Maybe you've ditched one weight. Totally fine. Breathe. Breathe. Nice work on the triceps. Let's bring the arms up to the sky. Let's float them down as we tee them out. Bring them all the way down to the hips. Take a deep breath in. And a deep breath out. Flip your hands so they're facing forward. Put a little bend in your knees. Do some bicep curls. You can do one, then the other, or both at the same time. But just don't let momentum bring them up with control. Up and down. The effort should feel almost the same on the bringing up and the bringing down. Make it work both ways. When you have that momentum and you throw it on up, You're gonna throw out your back. Not good, not smart. Breathe, breathe. All right, little bicep curls. How are they today? You got it. All right, when you're ready, let's finish here. Bring the weights down, fold forward at the waist, hands toward the earth. Take your ragdoll pose. Little softness in the knees, hands to opposite elbow creases. Sway from side to side. You got it. Don't quit. You got it. Bring your chin back to the midline of your body so your chin is tucked toward your chest. Release your hands. Come on down to your knees. Grab your weights and come on, bring them up by your shoulder and put your eye shade and your towel up there too. All right, so you got your weights by your shoulder. Let's go into a bridge pose. So come on down to your mat on your bottom, bend your knees, hands to prayer center, tell yourself your statement, and come on back, all the way back down to your mat. Once you're down, bridge pose. Bring your heels up closer to your bottom, arms down by your sides. You can grab your weights and place them in your hands on your hips. Lift and lower. Lift and lower in the hips. You can have both weights. You could have just the one weight kind of at the center of your belly as you lift and lower. You can have no weights at all and arms down by your sides. It's up to you. Maybe you've got some heavier weights here. Totally good. All right, let's remove the weights and send your hips nice and high. So your hips are nice and high, adjust your heels, and then send your right leg up to the sky. With your toes lifted, pulse them up to the sky a little bit more. Pulse, pulse, pulse. Take it to a 45-degree angle and pulse, pulse, pulse. Back up to the sky, pulse, pulse, pulse. Your left foot is strong. It's keeping you there. You got it. 45 degrees, pulse, pulse, pulse. One more time, back up to the sky. And this time, bend the knee and bring the sole of the foot on down. Arms down by your sides. Press into your nice, strong bridge pose. Lift your left leg up and pulse, pulse, pulse. Push into that foundational foot. 45 degrees in the left leg. Pulse, pulse, pulse. Bring it on up. Pulse it up. 45 degrees. Pulse the hips up. So a leg goes straight up and pulse. Leg floats down nice and strong and with control to meet the other foot on the mat. Press into your hips, press into your feet. Lift your hips good and high. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, roll your spine down one vertebra at a time. Roll onto your right hip. Stay down here, bend your right arm. Use your right arm's bicep as a pillow for your head. Legs can be long, one weight on your top thigh. When you're ready, bring the top leg, for me it's the left leg, bring it forward and little kicks a couple times, forward, forward, forward. Bring the legs, sweep it on back and a couple little kicks back here. Now, if you don't like the weight on your thigh, if you want more balance, you could put your hands down on your mat in front of your chest to give you a little more balance. It's all good. So kick a couple times forward, kick a couple times back. When you're ready, start to lift the leg up toward the sky. Draw the toes toward the shins. Lift and lower through your straight legs. Breathe. And when you're ready, we're going to take this into a starfish pose. So bring both legs down nice and straight. Press on up to your forearm, parallel to the top of your mat, shoulder over your elbow. And you can pop on up here. So let's take our right leg and bend it and send the left leg long and straight and then lift in that left leg. Arm can go high overhead and breathe right here. Shoulders over shoulders. Hold it here. Stay strong. Let's come on down and go to the other side. On the other side, your legs, just like the other side, are going to be long. You're going to come down to resting your head on your bicep. Legs can be long with a weight or without. When you're ready, draw your toes towards your shin and kick the top foot forward a couple times. Then kick it back a couple of times. So forward and back. Forward and back. Forward, and a couple kicks back. And when you're ready, lift it up and down. Lift it up and down. With control, doesn't have to go super high. Just lift it and lower it. Lift it and lower it. You got it. And when you're ready, legs come down, weight comes down. I'm gonna come onto this left knee a little bit. Take that starfish pose. You can take it on the elbow and stay up on the knee. I think that's what we did on the other side, so let's stick with that. Breathe, stretch it out. You've got it, hold it. And then let's come on down. Let's grab these weights and let's come on to our starting side, the right side. Once on this right side, let's do those clamshells. This time you're lifted up, shoulder over your elbow. Weights or no weights, you decide. The knees are bent here. You're gonna open and close that top leg like a clamshell. Stay lifted in the chest. Maybe lift the ankles up and open and close the leg. Now, you can ditch one weight and just have one weight. You can have no weights at all. Totally up to you. Lift and lower. You got it, and let's finish. Close the legs, bring them on down. Switch to your other side. Down on the forearm, knees bent, ankles glued, leg opens. Stay lifted in your chest. Stay strong here. Maybe lift your ankles and open and close the legs. Your call. You do it exactly your way. No pain. You want no pain. Breathe. Breathe. You got it. Let's finish. Remove the weights. Come to a seated position. Legs long and straight. Toes up toward the sky. Arms lift up high. Your gaze goes forward and your reach goes forward too. When you're ready, look down to your knees. Capture your ankles, your calves, whatever you can capture. Hug your elbows in and breathe. Big breath in, big breath out. Shoulders over your hips, legs spread wide. Reach long between the legs for your wide-legged forward fold. Elbows, forearms down to the earth as best you can. Come on back up to a reclined position. All right, so you're coming up. Now come to the reclined position. Hands to prayer center. Tell yourself your mantra. Come into a big 5-pointed star, your pentacle pose. Breathe in. Breathe out. Let it go. Bring your legs in a little bit to your mat. It's time for your final Shavasana pose. Eye shade, towel, whatever. Cover your eyes. Block out the world. Heels to the edges of the bottom of your mat. Arms down by your sides, shoulders away from your ears. Wiggle your shoulders closer to your spine. Breathe in, breathe out. Soften the area between your eyebrows. Just let your body radiate some heat and radiate just goodness. Put a smile on your face. Know how good that feels. To you and to others. Breathe in. Big breath out. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. If you have your remote handy, hit pause and stay in your final Shavasana pose as long as you like. And when you're ready to resume your practice, just hit play again and join us right here. Take a deep, refreshing breath in and a big sighing breath out. Start to wiggle your fingers and toes. Circle your wrists and your ankles. Inhale, reach high overhead and stretch it out as if it were the first stretch of your day. Maybe grab a wrist and give it a pull. Maybe grab the other wrist and give it a pull like we did in our half crescent moon. When you're ready, bend your knees and your elbows and roll onto one side or the other into a fetal position. Use your low arms bicep as a pillow for your head. Knees are bent. Take a deep breath here. A big satisfying breath. Savor this moment. You did a lot. Let it go. Your body thanks you. You moved a lot. You stretched. You found strength. You found flexibility, and you found mobility. Also important. As you're ready, drift on up to a comfortable seated position. Eyes can stay closed as you come on up and place your hands back into that prayer position. Shoulders are over your hips, lengthen up through the crown of your head and soften in your shoulders. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Gently blink your eyes open. Congratulations, you did it. Good job. All right, stress number you took in the beginning, what was it? And what is it now? It's down and your energy is up. And you're radiating goodness. It's all good. Stay strong, stay healthy, stay calm. Let your light radiate for those around you to enjoy, and just be a blessing to someone. All right, very common closing in a yoga practice. The light in me sees, honors, and respects the light in you. Have a great day, everybody. Love you. Goodbye. Hey, you. Yes, you're a good girl. Bye. You're still here, and I'm really glad for that. Keep this in mind. The path is made through repetition. Keep showing up, and good things will happen. You know that. I'm glad that you're still sticking around. Tell your friends what the yoga's doing for you. Our yoga is free for anybody and everybody on Facebook and YouTube, and they can join in anytime from the privacy of their own home. Tell them about our practice, please. If you'd like to support our broadcast, you can visit our website. It's www.316yoga.com. Stay on your path, enjoy your yoga, and have a great rest of your day. See you on your mats tomorrow.